This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
You're listening to the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring attorney, guest, and former felony prosecutor Eric Fadis.
There's a Proctor problem in the trial of Karen Reed, a very big Proctor problem, and probably more problems than just that for the prosecution of Karen Reed. Very dramatic testimony last week from Trooper Proctor. I don't know if dramatic is the right word. Shocking, abhorrent, inappropriate. All those words kind of play into it. Joining me to discuss, defense attorney, former prosecutor Eric Fadis. I'm going to go right at it, Eric. From your perspective here, being a former prosecutor, how damning was all of that?
Yeah, very problematic in looking at it. You know, as a prosecutor, you want to be seen as the team that's wearing the white hats, right? That's above board, that's doing things professionally, that's not cutting corners, that doesn't have some sort of personal vendetta. And Proctor's testimony isn't really consistent with any of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot that raises eyebrows. Obviously, the language itself, and it's easy to get caught up in the language and go, oh, my God, this is horrible, what you're saying. But is it going to move the needle enough for the jury to look at him and go, well, you know, if he's lying about this, what else is he lying about? Is it enough to create reasonable doubt that, obviously, I've been saying for a long time, I think the murder charges are an overcharge. But is it going to be enough to do anything to the possible vehicular manslaughter charges that she faces if murder's not what is brought to the table?
You know, sometimes when you have a rogue investigator and some off-color comments, it's a problem, but it's not enough to justify an acquittal. But here, that's not the only issue the prosecution has. It has these really off-color comments that Proctor made about Karen Reed, and then it has a bunch of evidentiary issues, including inconsistencies between testimony, inconsistencies regarding this taillight issue. And so when you put all these together, is the jury going to look at that cumulatively and say, hey, this is just another layer on this huge mess, and I don't think that's enough for a proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hole after hole after hole in the case. It's easy to look at this and go, I think she accidentally hit him. But at the same point, it just seems like they've added a whole, the prosecution or the law enforcement in this added a whole other layer of confusion that really didn't even need to be there. It's like Karen's boat was sinking as it was with what the evidence that existed on the table were. Didn't seem to need to be any more putting your hand on the scale. But does it feel to you like that's what they were really trying to do here?
You know, a lot of people have come to that conclusion, and just when you look at the comments and you worry about what else was going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. You know, I'm only speculating, but gosh, if this sort of stuff has come to light, what other stuff has been buried? What other stuff has been lost in cell phones that are no longer in existence? You know, how does it color how the jury is going to see the prosecution's evidence and what the prosecution is telling them? I think that it's a significant problem for the government.
It really makes you wonder how many cases they're going to have to look back on now that Proctor was involved in. And they're going, let's take a closer look at this behavior, because this doesn't happen in a bubble.
Right, exactly. It seems like it's something that might be a sort of a culture-wide thing at that police department, at least among some members. And it really shows for some people kind of the dark side of what happens behind the badge and how, you know, everyone's human, but do those human frailties result in reasonable doubt in this case? Yeah,
that's the question. Here's some testimony from Proctor talking about the phone and access to the Ring video cameras and the missing video that, you know, where did that go? Let's take a look.
You took possession of Mr. O'Keefe's cell phone physically, correct?
Yes.
And you had access to Mr. O'Keefe's Ring account in that cell phone, is that right?
Correct.
You indicated that you reviewed several of the videos on his Ring app on his cell phone, is that right?
Yes.
So you obviously had not only possession of the cell phone, you had possession of his login account information to get into the app on his cell phone. Is that right?
I don't believe we had the password. We had his email account associated with the Ring.
Which means
app.
some way or another, you could get access to the Ring videos.
Correct.
And watch those Ring videos on his app on the phone.
Yes.
Which means you had full access to the app. You could keep videos, you could save for later, you could delete videos, you could do anything you wanted to within that app, correct?
Yes, those are the capabilities within that app.
Trooper Proctor, did you delete any of the Ring videos ever from John O'Keefe's phone?
Absolutely not.
Did you delete a video of Miss Reed arriving to One Meadows at approximately 12:41 a.m. on January 29th, 2022?
Absolutely not.
You will agree, Trooper Proctor, that the video of Miss Reed returning home from 34 Fairview at approximately 12:41 a.m. is not there.
Correct.
As the case officer, you're aware that Trooper DeChico also reviewed some or all of those videos, correct?
Yes.
And he did that at your request.
Correct.
He took notes of his review of those videos, correct?
Yes.
And you note that at 0041, which is a time relative to what DeChico was looking at on the Ring video, he indicated taillights from driveway, parentheses, I think she arrived home, in parentheses, correct?
Correct.
0041 is what? Is that in reference to?
Just after midnight, the approximate time where Miss Reed will be returning from Fairview Road.
So interesting that the video seems to be missing off of his phone. The only people who had access to the phone, these guys. Again, it's like, well, why should we believe that you didn't delete anything off of this if what you're saying over here is fairly inconsistent as well?
Oh, totally. And you've got, you've got another police officer who sort of trashed their phone in a way that a lot of people think is suspicious. And these are these missing pieces that a jury wants to see. This is critical evidence. How was Karen Reed presenting when she got back? Was she oblivious and didn't know anything happened? Was she beside herself because she just ran over her significant other? These are compelling pieces of evidence that the jury probably says, hey, a complete investigation should have this. This investigation does not.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.